This episode of That Boy's Got Knowledge was filmed at Natural Textures, located 2424 North Charles Street, Baltimore, Maryland.
I'm the only one that's all for you. Okay, make me feel away, make me feel away. Shorty so damn dangerous, fuck me like I'm famous, yeah. I've been so impatient, so glad.
Why coach? Like why? We got coaches in here. What make y'all? Like, why do y'all coach?
So one reason why I coach was like, I love the game so much. It's like, why not teach it to others when I didn't go so far with it? So it was like teaching. A lot of kids don't learn the game. They don't understand why they love basketball. Cause you ask a kid today, like, why you like basketball? They like it for like, oh, I want to be like Kevin Durant. I want to be popular. They want to be, no, bro, you got to work to get to where you want to be, man. That's the honest truth, you know what I'm saying? You got to grind to get to where you want to be, and that's how you fall in love with the game. I fell in love with the game at a young age, AI, and like, you know, he grind, he does what he do. And then after that, you know, it's like, I like coaching too as well, being a point guard. You can tell people where to go, understand the play, you can help others, you know.
That's crazy. It's crazy because a lot of point guards tend to lead to coaching. Right. I know Atkins tested that because this point guard, Dave, you do it too. He's a point guard. He's 4-year starter in high school and in college. He was too. So I want to know what, as point guard point of view, what made you go that route? Because you did play professionally overseas for a little bit.
For a little bit, yeah, man. I got into coaching. You know, I fell in love with the game at an early age, and I really fell in love with the process. And that happened when I was about 10, 11 years old, and it was my coach, Todd Bozeman, who used to coach up at Morgan. You know, I was blessed to have that type of coach at a young age, and you know, the things he taught me, from shell drill to being in the right place and spacing and ball movement. Man, that I remember being 11 years old, knowing all those things he was teaching me. I was like, man, I got to get this back in one day. So, you know, as I grew older, having Pat Clashy as my coach in high school, to Mike Bray in college, I was just like, man, these are amazing coaches, and I just knew that when I get a chance to do that, I knew I had to. So
that's only right to get back.
So,
I mean, for me, it's different. I do love it, but at the same time, I felt like I had to go back and teach from a standpoint that going through high school, you know, not having, you know, my father there, like there's a lot of things I had to learn on my own. And basketball was what kept me from being out on the street. You know, I was in the gym. Sometimes I was in the gym. You get home, something happened with your boy, but you could have went out with them, but come to find out you went in the gym. So I love the sound of the opening and closing of gym doors because I call it the sanctuary. Everything outside them doors don't matter when I'm in the gym. Like you sweat, you scream, you put the music all the way on loud. Nobody can hear you yell. Like it's just you and that ball in that room. So for me, I wanted to give back to, especially because I'm at the high school I graduated from. I wanted to give some of these examples to these kids because I didn't come from the streets. My mom, I'm one of four. Just my mom and me and my other three siblings. But we weren't poor, but we weren't rich. So we was in like the middle class. But I tell my kids all the time, be different. Like, you don't like what you eat at night? Like, hit the gym. So when you get out of high school, you got that money to buy whatever you want to buy and do whatever you want to do with it. You get that scholarship. But I teach these kids to be different. It's okay to be different. It's okay not to go out. It's okay to go in the gym, put extra hours in. Some people may be like, oh, or he in the gym, like he not out partying with the girls. Like, it ain't about that. Because 3 or 4 years, you in college, where your man's at? He could be in jail. He could be still on the streets doing the same thing he was 3 years ago when he's supposed to be in the gym with you. So I do it to give some of these kids that, you know, aren't from the streets but aren't rich that, you know, you can still get out of here and do it too. Like some of these stories with people getting drafted, like they really got some sleeping in the house, sleeping in the car, sleeping in a room for 4 or 5 people, nephews, cousins. Like I don't know what that feels like. but I know what it feels like to like not have what I want to have, but still be able to make it just like them, or you know what I'm saying? Like they in worse situations make it better than me. Like you can do the same thing.
That's crazy.
It's amazing for real. That's a fact.
And I know your story a little different because you actually just jumped into coaching because you actually
Fresh from playing.
yeah you first like he went from Australia, right?
Literally from. So they called me in the middle of my season. The athletic director and the principal at Digital called me. I'm on my second year, 33-year contract with my second year, and I'm like in my prime, I'm 25.
Right.
They called me like, hey man, you still interested in coaching? So I'm like, yeah, but why? Like, what's up?
Right.
So basically something happened, like they had to fire the whole staff. They wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. So I'm like, I can't just come back and coach high school. Like, I gotta be able to do more. Like I'm in the prime. This is my job that I'm doing. Like coaching high school, I ain't about to pay me no money.
Right.
Like I would literally be doing that for love. So they told me that I could start my AU program out of there. Have tournaments and stuff like that. Just use Digital Hub facility for whatever I needed it for to get where the program needed to be. So I was like, shit, all right. Everybody know I wanted to coach after I played basketball anyway. So I'm like, yeah, it's about time for me to sit down. I was over there for 4 years, 6 countries, and it was just like a grind. Like, I left Baltimore in 2010, and from 2010 all the way up into 2018, I was only home maybe for like 3 to 4 months out of each year, like not even that long. So I just wanted to come back and like be that person that these kids can have access to that was at the top level where they try and get. Like, I ain't want to come home and just go help this AU team or go talk to these kids and be guest speakers here and there. I wanted to be like, all right, I'm gonna be the first professional basketball player from Baltimore City, and in my generation, in my era, to come back and coach high school, like at the high school that I went to. You know what I mean? Like, it's different if you coaching at a different high school, like to coaching at your school. Like it hit more different. You know what I mean? Like how he said, like it make them feel more like of a purpose. Like I felt like it was more of a purpose.
Right.
It was more important for me to come back and coach my old high school, help these kids have an opportunity to me continue to play for 5-10 years, because like I felt like I was already solidified in basketball and what I did in my life. I did everything I wanted to do. Played, went to the NCAA tournament, played Division I, went to school for free, played professionally overseas. We played in the G League together. You know what I mean?
So it's like that both had brief stinks.
Yeah, like we literally been kind of through the same grind on playing, and we was just like, yo, it's more to life than just us chasing this basketball playing dream. Like we can help somebody else's life.
Right.
So that was my main reason.
It's crazy how y'all say that, because I think everybody in this panel right here, we all play basketball. And some of us play professionally, we're blessed enough to play professionally, and some of us, I know, start finding their way and actually getting into coaching now. So, what type of difficulties do y'all experience dealing with just coaching as far as my parents, the community?
Parents, bro.
Yeah, very
Bro. So do any of y'all guys do AU?
Yes.
I couldn't do it. I can't do
Bro. Oh my God. So you got what age group you coach?
2023, so 16 years right now.
Oh! With the Cruddy Bush?
Yeah.
He was on my team. He just came to play with me this weekend. He's a great kid. I don't know what happened over there. But I can tell you. You can tell me. Please tell me. But AAU, the parents, bro, because like he said, like he literally he went with y'all a couple weeks ago, right?
Yes, he was.
Yes, and one of my kids hit me up like, yo, hey coach, I got a kid, like his kid's on my team. But like AAU, the coaches, like, because they pay their kids supposed to play.
Right.
And I tell them, yo, you paying for an experience.
Right.
You ain't paying for your child to be in a game.
Right.
These tournaments, your registration fee ain't covering the we paying for.
Yeah.
Like, it's paying for practice
It's only
time,
pay for time.
couple tournaments, at least a couple tournaments. Other than that, we investing in y'all for our program. So it's not about your kid, it's about the whole program and the bigger picture. We trying to put all these kids in the opportunity to do something. Just because you paid your little $450 and little John only come to practice 2 days a week and you mad he not in the game, it's not my fault. John better go run these 4 miles I told him to run and get in shape. Work on his hands, go to the basketball court, go work out, or watch some basketball. You know what I mean? So like I'm gonna bust a parent bubble real quick. And I tell a kid, if your parent knew what they was doing, tell them start a fucking team.
Right.
Parents put entitlement into their kids.
Super entitled.
Now that they're entitled, they think they gotta listen to you. My dad or my mom said this, so I don't have to do this. Even if they don't say it, it's that they have that
The demeanor.
Right. They have that, and now you can't tell them nothing.
And I look at, I can't. Bro, buy you transfer, or you can go play for somebody else. I'll give you a piece of their money back.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy you say that because at your level you got to deal with it. But I don't think at a college level you ain't got too much.
You ain't got too much. You probably don't listen to all that.
Y'all have entitlement? Kids definitely feel entitled at D1. You know this.
Yeah, but we don't. You know, as coaches, we don't deal with it as much from the parents.
True.
Just because there's a little layer of separation there, and you know when they have their you know disagreements or things like that, they probably reach out to the head. You coach reach out to us, and so we still kind of hear it, but it's not through the same.
It's not direct.
Yeah, it's not direct. We don't have parents like coming into our office or anything like that.
They ain't.
At least not yet. You know,
Scholarship gonna be gone. Look, my baby ain't playing.
You sure not.
He is a genius. You got this freshman playing over my boy.
Yeah,
Be like that.
See, it's crazy you say that in the city. I would think you probably want to get that much as deal with that in the city. But I know for a fact in the county,
Most of my kids are county kids. AAU. City kids, I don't even get the parents to come to the game, so I gotta deal with that.
that's what I'm see. Because I know in the county, the parents control the county.
Yeah, they do. So it's like
Sure.
Boosters.
Our boosters run everything.
And private schools, they do too.
This is what I see between kids and parents. With the kids, these kids, it must be something in the water because these like for me, if I think about saying something wrong, I hear my brother in the back of my head like I didn't want to come home. If I had a C, I didn't want to come home. So like I had literally had a kid who went into class on game day with his fit on, an exam. You know how he break the desk out in rows and whatever. Somebody sat in his seat. He told the teacher to suck him off. I said, dude, what? Like, you like what? I would never I'm not playing in the game, especially if your mom come to the game, get off work early, come see you in the game, and realize you're not playing the game. Like, that's not happening. And then with parents.
They think their kids is everything out here.
Parents don't come to realize they don't know what their kids are doing. Half the time, I get texts from kids like, "Oh, you see Johnny after school today for practice?" No, he went to Sam's house. Like, you don't know what your kids is doing after school, but you coming to me after a game while he's not playing. Did you ask him why he's not playing? Well, he just told me he knows all the plays. So then I had a situation where I had a meeting after practice one day. Brought the parent in, brought the kid in. He said he know all the plays. I was like, your mom goes one place, your dad goes one place. Tell me how the play's supposed to go. He couldn't do it. I didn't want to put him on blast, but these are the things the parent thinks the kid's coming home. The kid's telling them, I'm just not playing, I'm really good. Or the parents say, I see him at the gym killing 20 and 30-year-old dudes. Yep. Okay, do it here against these kids that don't know their left from their right hand.
I got a fat kid on my team. Can't guard a soul. Cannot guard a soul. His parents are the most outspoken ones. This guy lets two kids hit knockdown threes in his face. Bang, bang. Sub him out. So after the game, I'm trying to tell him what he need to do. So his dad right there, like, he was like, yeah, I would be frustrated too if I only play 3 minutes a game. I get the least amount of time on the team. So I say, check this out. Did you run your 4 miles this week? No. Exactly. And what did I say the 4 miles played a part into? Playing time. Yeah. So it's all right there, like, fuck out my face. How about you go run the miles with him? Y'all figure out why he ain't playing together. You can figure out if you can fight that to yourself.
He feel like this guy. He just got back from the AAU tour. So he fresh off the press right now. He's fresh off the press.
Yo.
But the kids nowadays, they don't know how it's like. And it's snow time. Back when we was in high school, we was all up Supreme killing each other. It killed me about 1 million times at Supreme when it was snowing outside. Like, we was all up there playing. We was cool, but we was giving each other. These kids don't know what an outside hoop is. I don't see nobody at the playgrounds right now unless some 40-year-old man who used to do it back in his day. Like, The kids don't grind for it. They all want it handed to them.
They playing Fortnite and Tuesday. My player. Like, I gotta break everything down in like a NBA 2K type of sense when I'm explaining it to my players.
You
like,
got to. It's on.
Yo, your on-ball defense is a D- right now, shorty. Or like, yo, your toughness is like a 20, yo. Like, you don't have it. Like, your toughness badge is like not even there. That's all I'm like.
That's the only way. That's the only way they can get it.
What any of that means.
That's the only way they can get it though.
Yes.
That's the crazy
Like,
part.
you gotta explain to them like, yo, your my player is better than you. Like, the way you work out on your my player, you need to work out like that in real life. Your my player game is on 99. Your game is on 69. You look like you just started hooping, right?
Right.
So I try to break it down there like that, and that's when they understand like that. I'm really trash.
But do y'all feel like when you teaching high schoolers, right? You probably don't have this whole thing. You probably get them when they freshmen. Like teaching them in high school, like you showing them, all right, this stuff we used to do in college, and you showing them sets and stuff like that, the drills we do, all college drills. You know what I'm saying? They don't get it.
I went there my first year. I was too like. I think you gotta dumb it down sometimes. Like
That was my problem my first year.
You
too.
really gotta
you
like,
gotta really dumb
I was
it down.
on like. I was coming to practice like with a D1 practice plan,
Right.
breakdowns,
Piece
we
of
gonna do
paper,
this, that, bro.
throwing all over the place.
They couldn't even get through the damn warm up. Like they couldn't even make 20 layups in a row. So it's like, hold up, yo, I gotta take it back to the basics. Yeah, so it's like,
Y'all high school and college, I'm working with 5 to 15 years old. 5-year-olds don't even know how to dribble, but I gotta break that down. Use your fingertips. Don't use your palm. Push with your arm. So that I can't even get to that.
But even then, you probably got parents wondering why they don't get playing time.
or why
Like I know
they
there's
don't
probably
play.
each player got to play like 8 minutes or 2 quarters, but
Yeah.
it's probably parents like, hey coach, like what can I do to get better? Like take the ball, don't leave it out your sight. Take it in your bed, like what we used to do. We used to look up, shoot it in the bed, like just.
Right, and I be training them. I'm like, I run them. They have homework I give them. If you come back and you say you didn't do the homework, you're running. Why are my kids running so much? I gave them ball handling drills to do, shooting drills to do for the phone, all this stuff to do. I asked them, did they do it? They told me yes. Standing right there. What did they say? What, did you do it? No.
they lie to their parents real quick before they
Right.
coach.
That's true.
They lie to their parents quick, fast, and in a hurry, but not lie to the coach. And it's weird, like, because we can tell when you lying.
Yeah,
Right.
Parents
For sure.
That's the misunderstanding when you come from like the high school rankings, AAU to college. I want to ask you this, since you are college. First of all, congratulations, you got the kid coaching job.
Yeah,
I mean,
big,
you got a coach job at HBCU at Howard University, right? And then you got the job over there. This is your first year over there. How was that transition?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting, but at the same time, it's a blessing, man. You know, with this coaching staff, they've welcomed me with open arms. The players have, the administration and everything like that. So I'm just excited. I mean, now we in the springtime, so it's kind of died down a little bit. But the guys get back to campus on May 24th.
Mm-hmm.
So we get back at it, get back in the gym. So I'm excited about that.
And that's a good way to bring that Baltimore connection out to DC.
Nah, sure.
Cause we got a couple kids over there from the city now, right?
Yeah, we got James Bishop, who went to Mount St. Joe.
Mm-hmm.
his old school.
Right. And then we just got a transfer from UConn, Brennan Adams.
Oh yeah, we got him.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
Yep.
tough.
So he's gonna be a big piece this year. I'm definitely excited about him.
I'll be in attendance.
Yes, sir.
Tickets.
Not to interrupt the convo, but we gotta go make this money right quick. Be right
I
back.
just wanna spend my life with you all day. You say that you love me, is it true? You say I'm the only one that's all for you.
Yo, Jay, hit me with that quote of the day.
So for me, and I'm pretty sure listening to y'all probably the same type of coaches. I want more from you, not from you. So let me explain it. Let me say it again. I want more from you, not from you. Because you know you got, and this is something I teach because my joint ended because of bad information. So I got them NCAA licks, and that was pretty much it. I want kids to understand like there's rules to this shit because you can do certain things you can't do that might mess up your career. So I want more from them. Some coaches use the kids to benefit them.
I was just about to
I
say.
want more from the kids, not to take it.
And I think that's kind of touch base even with high school and college, because it's like there's a lot of coaches that tag along with this one player that's about to take off, and then some coaches, you probably get tested this, like some coaches probably get hired based off just that connection alone. And then even with high school, like you kids transfer, like it's not no buddy now, but everybody want to go to top schools now. Everybody want to go play with their friends now. It's not like it's no more competing no more, stuff like that. So I get what you're saying. When you want, as a coach, you want more from that player, but you can't want it more for them.
That's true. You can.
And then, cause I tend, maybe y'all can test this, because a lot of coaches tend to want it more from them because they see greatness in them, but the kids just don't want it, or don't got that it factor. It makes sense. It makes sense that they don't got that it factor. Because it's a lot of times, especially like in the city, we known for hard nose. We known for our toughness. We just our head, our mental not where it's at sometimes. But we always, as coaches, had to be that it factor. Some kids don't have that it factor. So how do you know when to, you know what I'm saying, stop wasting your time with that kid? Or if you don't want to waste your time with that kid. Because I work with a little girl right now, and she it. But like I said, I want it more for her, but she gotta realize, you know what I'm saying?
But she don't know yet that she it. I tell her every day when I say it, yo, you it.
Yeah.
She
Like,
look at me, start laughing.
She get recruited by like
nice
big schools right now. She only sophomore. Like I had to get her out of this city. Like she's at a school, at a prep school somewhere.
I like that quote you said though, because like that's what I kind of try to tell my players a lot. Like I don't need anything from you. I'm not trying to live my life through you. Like I literally did everything you want to do. So it's like I'm trying to come back to be your plug, to be the keys for you to get where you want to go. So it's like use me to navigate. I really want you to, like how coaches use players. Use me, use my coach to get where you want to go. Like I'm not trying to use none of y'all. I want more out of you, like for the best of you. Like be the best version of you. But I don't want y'all to be great. So if you nice and you averaging 25 and you get an offer, I'm asking the coach, can I come be on staff? It's not that type of party because that's not what I'm in for. Like I want to see you go D1 or go to college for free. I just want to see you get out the city. Just have that little opportunity to just go to school. It can be in Virginia. It can be in York, PA. As long as you're not in Baltimore City, I'm just trying to give you an opportunity to see something different. And that's the main thing about wanting more. So that's a good quote.
For me, I've always tried to ask them. Like I asked them multiple times. Like the Coach Carter, the question is like, you know, the big old statement they ask him. And for me, I just simply ask them, what's your why? Like, why do you play basketball? Well, I like to play basketball. I watch kids like that. What is your why? Like for me, I wanted to be different. Like I didn't come from like sleeping in a room full of 10 people, like struggling to have food. Like that's why I've always wanted to hear other people and figure out what their why was, because I want to understand their why. Like Josh Jacobs in NFL, like him and his dad used to live out the car, used to go drink out the little fire hydrant, you know what I'm saying, right outside the car. Like I felt it, listened to the story. I didn't come from a story like that. My situation was better than him, but obviously in the NFL, and I'm not in pros. So like his why pushed him like beyond my why. So I always like to hear what's your why, and kids don't know their why. They don't have a why. They don't want to be different. Like if someone wants to go to this particular team to go play, they want to go with them because it's their friend. Right. But play for a different team because you can be better than your friend. Like you don't need to follow your friend. So when I ask kids like that, they may not know freshmen and sophomores, but I start to get them to understand that sophomore and juniors, because I have connections. I know people. I can have them come just to look at you, give me a critique, send them a clip, get questions, but it doesn't matter if you don't have a why, if you don't have a purpose, if you don't want to get out your situation because you don't like who you're living with. Right. Like if that doesn't drive you, when you get to the next level, like I say, your coach is like your daddy. Like he tell you where you're gonna go to class. Your schedule sometimes already made. Like you get to only certain times you get to eat. You gotta go lift at 6. Like they don't understand that. They just
like that. Coach was my dad.
I mean, I hate to say it like that, but in a way, it's like your schedule's picked out for me, especially when coming to a freshman, depending on the school you go to. So like, even when I was at Division III, we had the only times we could lift is 6 o'clock. Right. We have our classes. We only have certain classes at certain times of the day because of practice. So that makes it worse. Some classes only from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at night on Wednesdays. What is Wednesdays? Game days. Right. So like these kids don't understand that. So then when they go to college, and then you see the transfer portal crazy right now, or you see some kids at D1 go to D2, redshirt at D2, end up D3, or go to prep school just to go to community college, and then go from community college. Just to, like you don't have to do all that. If you just listen to find your why, go somewhere that fits you, not because you're chasing something. And you had 4 or 5 different schools for no reason, and nobody sees you trying to go overseas, and then you back at home. Like,
it's preaching. That's all facts.
But for me, it was like I understood that early in high school. Like I knew I wasn't going overseas. I knew I wasn't going D2 or D1. I went to Frostburg State. Yeah, they're D2 now. I had a good Division III career.
We did.
They had one of the really good business schools. I majored in accounting there, but like
you went to school.
I knew that after college I wasn't hooping no more. Like I embraced it. I knew that. Nowadays it's a total 360.
They don't want to embrace it. They don't want to. They know that they're not good enough to go to college, like D1, D2, anywhere, even in the classroom. Like they know they're not good enough, but they still trying to put on this fake facade for us to make it seem like they really want this. And it's like no, they just coasting to senior year until no coach is pushing them no more.
Right.
And then they 18, 19 years old. Coach, can you help me? Coach, I'm trying to get in the gym. Can you help me go to the JUCO and all this? And it's like, what have you did these last years or two where you wasn't with me? Like I told you, the real world was about to kick in.
Yeah.
So it's like you could have took this opportunity serious your junior, senior year. Like I've been at digital. This is about to be my third year. This is my 3rd year. So it's like my freshmen are now going to junior year, and I'm telling them like it went fast, didn't it? You was a freshman playing JV. And you have a sophomore season now, you playing varsity possibly, or you might get cut.
Right.
Then I'm telling the seniors, who was our first group of sophomores that we coached, they seniors now.
Yep.
I'm like, hey, it happened fast, didn't it? 1 year JV, 1 year with me.
Yeah.
Now you graduated.
Yep.
What did you have to show? How your grades doing? I've been here every day helping y'all get y'all grades together. I've been here every day giving workouts, individual workouts when we had the opportunity before pandemic.
Right.
Nobody wants individuals no more.
Nobody.
That's unheard of.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Like,
they don't hit you up or nothing.
What? Coach you in the gym? No, I had one of my seniors playing with like Team Silk or Team Mellow, like varsity team out of Little River. Right? I got my 10th grade AAU team in that. He's a senior playing against my 10th graders.
That's crazy.
And my 10th graders is dominating. And I'm like, you see what I try to get you to tell? Feel me? And then when the school went back up, kids down the school like, Coach Dave, I can't wait for basketball practice.
Yeah.
Sure, Dave. You're not on the team no more?
Yeah.
I got stuff from scratch, bro. Like, first off, you was on JV. We had a pandemic. I ain't seen you in a year. I don't know what you're doing. You could have been in jail for all I know.
Right.
Like,
and I'd rather take sophomores or juniors than seniors.
3
or 4 months, like you no good to me.
3 or 4 months, yeah, it's no good. Like it's just tough, yo. When you like, it's just tough.
What did that quote mean to you in the college level? I know you got, like you said, freshmen all the way to seniors, and most of them are on scholarship. You got some that's on walk on, but the grades are good. But then, as you coaching them, like you see greatness in them. You may see they got NBA potential. You may see they got professional potential. But he's like, and you know you want it for them. But how do you break that barrier to get through that?
Yeah,
what type of advice? Because you play football, so you know what it takes for it. So I know they gotta listen to you.
Yeah, I think what you said about tapping into each player's why. I think that's like the most. That's the main thing that you got to do. I think because every player is different. Each one is different, and first thing I do is try to create a relationship with them. so you can tap into that. If you don't got a relationship, you're never gonna know what that kid really wants out of anything.
Right,
you know, you're not just gonna walk in there and just say, "Yo, what do you want? Why do you want this?" And then kids just don't open up like that. I don't think they ever did. So
Exactly.
So
I did.
yeah. So the main thing is just creating that relationship and then getting to know their why. And then tapping into that each and every day. If it's for me, if it's sending you NBA videos, it could be NBA videos of Chris Paul, this guy, that, and the third. Me and great relationship like that. Send him NBA stuff. I know he wants to get there. He can get there. You know, other guys, it could be, you know, I can send them comedy things, different things like that. But whatever taps into them, makes them feel like I care. You know, then I know I can tap into where they want to go.
Right.
You know, but for me, it's like tapping into that relationship, and then once I get to the relationship, I can get to their why. And so I know that's kind of like, you know, kind of dancing around that.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Every kid in college, every kid that goes to college on scholarship, every kid that plays Division I don't want to go pro. So it's like his approach is perfect because
that's what I was about to say.
you can easily be an assistant coach trying to push everybody.
Because you got some kids that are like top 100 in the nation, and then their expectation is NBA or pro. But then when you meet the kid, you like, this kid is a straight kid. Like, he don't have to. He don't have to go to the league. He can be a business owner. He could be a lawyer, a doctor. But you won't know that because you got all these people in the media saying,
force them to do this.
Force them to do it.
Right. There's a kid at UW who he's going to graduate. He just started an app. He was on the basketball team, just started an app, a nightlife app. It just I think it just was estimated for like 20 million.
Wow.
And this is while he was in college. So I mean, you got these different guys where, you know, their minds go different places, and that's okay. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's gonna be hard to tap into that type of kids of getting on them about, you know what I mean, not boxing out, not run this, that, and the third, because that's not where his mind's at.
It's crazy. It's crazy you say that too, because it's like, how do you know that? Like when you coaching, because now you got the players that started five, maybe because some coaches, you know, you'll probably play college, you probably play like straight 8 players, you probably play 9. So you know, like the other 4 or 5, you're nearly sitting, but how do you tap into them, make them feel like they still involved? You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, if you know that's not what they want, but you still got to maintain that relationship because they still all part of the team. Right. So it's like, how do you juggle?
I mean, that's you asking the question everybody's still trying to figure out.
How do you make the bench players feel like they still involved?
Yeah, I mean, and I think you know, roster construction is so important in college and high school. Actually, no matter what level you're at. But knowing what players' needs are, and having a plan for them. You know, most importantly, you know, if we got 7, 8 guys that are the main, you know, you can say main players playing. That 9, 10, 11, they have to have a purpose.
Exactly.
You know, if they're a walk on, them obviously if they're doing their thing in the classroom, being a great teammate on the sideline, you know, being a towel waver, like whatever it is. Whatever it is, giving them a purpose that's more than, you know, just being in the game.
Right.
You know, because if you can tap into that, then you always going to have positive energy around the team. Because if the top 8 is playing, 9, 10, 11 are mad, sad over there, that's going to transfer into the main players. And then that's when...
Because I felt that when I was playing too, because I knew I was one of the 7, 8 guys. So but I care a lot. So I used to see, like one of my close friends was never playing. So I used to see him come home after practice, come out the game, just head down, just mad, he's not in the game, because he really cared, like he really want to play. And I'm over here telling him, like, you gotta do this, do that. But it's hard when you tell somebody that, but you playing. So it's like, how do you reward those type of kids? Because sometimes kids need that pick me up or that reward. Be like, oh, feel like I'm part of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing, like I said again, is just having that plan. You know what I mean? Because even when I was at Notre Dame, when I was a player, those guys, you know, after practice, we have a short practice. Those guys get extra work in with the coaches.
Right.
You know, so they feel that love. They get touched. You know what I mean? Like that. So your mind is still staying locked in. You know, finding ways to keep everybody locked in is the main thing. And with them, again, every program is different. You got like let's say Florida State, they play 10, 11 guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's a little, you know what I mean? You don't have to do the same type of things there, because all those guys are going to play. Every school is different. So like I said, roster construction is so important in that. Having a plan for each kid and going from there.
I think the relationship thing is crucial. Like
Super crucial.
everything is so much more sensitive nowadays because just where Eric said, just going and asking like, what do you like to do? Like if he didn't know about the kid with the app thing, he could be coaching him so hard that he don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? He's there to get in shape. He loves basketball, but like the relationship was so key because I see a lot of times while I'm watching basketball, even AAU tournaments, that like there's an older coach. I can tell he has older philosophies, but some coaches just can't reach kids anymore.
Kids like that.
They just can't. They can't. And I can tell where they come off the court and they tell them something like, hey, box out or do this time, and they just brush them off. Either because they don't care, they don't respect you, or they don't believe that you know where they're coming from or how they are. So like, if you can't reach them to figure out what's one thing they like to do, they like to play with a yo-yo, whatever it is, you can't reach them there. Reaching them in front of thousands of people is just not going to happen.
That's how I feel about Roy Williams. I think that's why he's me personally. That's why I think he said.
I 100% agree.
I agree with that one. I think why he said. I think he lost that connection.
And his philosophy, it just like
He breed winners, bro.
you're not going to get the same kids coming through the door. Everybody knows we play two bigs.
Yeah.
So like that takes away from that stretch 4 or that stretch 5 that teams are playing now. Like they don't want to come to us. Like I've been waiting for it. I hope we get there, but I completely agree. I think it's that and the whole philosophy.
But North Carolina's playing style is not that bad. Like I don't feel like they need to. Like I like Roy Williams' philosophy, like with the two bigs, because the two bigs be
run, bro. They
run and they finishing on the basket and they got soft hands. For me, it's really the guards in North Carolina. Like you not getting them guards that he normally get. Like Cole Anthony being hurt that year kind of took them down. He couldn't get no top guards no more. Kind of it's the preppy guard kind of thing. Like run my offense, I'm gonna do it the right way. Same with
the last guard. I think the last guard they had was Cole, and then maybe what's the dude from Chicago, point guard. Kobe White.
Kobe White, tough.
We have to work it, or they have to work in much smaller and tighter spaces because we do have two bigs on the blocks. Yeah. So if you're not hitting it from the slot, the corners are pretty much dead. Yeah. So the top of key, you get your face up three, but
it's kind of slow in offense to really want to.
I love our Carolina.
It's a great offense, but it's kind of slow and outdated.
He played like a high pick and roll too as well.
That's the reason why North Carolina plays so fast.
Yep. Right.
So you can sell that. You sell that because when you play so fast, you got so many possessions. The half-court game is, it's not as important.
Yeah.
I played against him.
Yeah, exactly.
He was against.
He was in that
conference.
There was some buckets.
Yeah, so you like twice, 4 times a year.
Yeah.
So you probably see that offense.
I mean, and those bigs are talented. Bigs are very, very talented. But the way they play, like, I think if any guard went there, you'll be fine because you're getting up and down so.
But you don't have freedom spacing
in the half court. But you getting your game off.
You still get your 10 to 12, 10 to 15 shots.
Yeah, that's true. But going back to the point of like coaches, like music players, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And I care about these acts. So we're gonna go right to a break. We'll be right back.
Spend my life with you all day. You say that you love me, is it true? You say I'm the only one that's all for you.
I got a question. So I know that this a coach's life and then it's a personal life. Where do y'all meet that balance? Because you got kids, you married, you got kids. Congrats on your engagement.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Me, I'm just doing me. Yeah.
So where's that balance you get? Because I know you got a kid at home or you got a wife at home and you got to juggle that. But then as for you traveling, you playing in different states, and then you playing in different counties, then it's like you come home late, then you got to tend to the wife and the kids. Where's that balance? Or when do you just find your happiness as far as like going out with your friend, like we all chilling right now. Appreciate y'all coming, by the way, but just saying, 'cause I know y'all busy schedules.
But what? I'm chilling, yo.
I feel like, you know, coaching and having to balance that your regular life, you could balance it, but it's kind of hard because then like when you sitting there, you think about that game you just had and y'all lost, you trying to figure out, all right, what's the next? What can I do to make you looking at film? You might be out, but you like, dang, one under the sneaks if you looking on your phone, like looking at the play, but you there, but you like looking, dang, we should have did that better. You know, quality drinks.
In the back of your mind,
you keep thinking about it, like, cause you like, it's like you love the game so much, you gotta find the next thing or like the next, like get the kids ready.
Get over that hump.
Get over the hump. You got to, because you want to get to that level where you want to see the kids do good, have schools come and watch your kids play, you know, and get them to that next level. Because a lot of kids, I know, in our like at my school or in the county, they want to play college. So like I try to balance my life. Outside of that, it's like.
It's hard.
It's hard, but it's like I try to level it out because they want to do those things, so I try to reach out and try to help them.
Exactly, but then where do you run into that roadblock when you want to go out or you want to, you know what I'm saying?
Take a vacation.
Take a vacation because you can't tend to like be with that kid 24/7 because it's not really your kid.
But then again, it's like it's just like in your mind like, oh, I gotta stop. You said mute them all out.
Yeah, what is that breaking point? When you get to that breaking point where it's like, oh, I have to stop.
And it gets to a point.
Because it tends to mess with your mind.
Listen, you got when your piece is unbalanced, that's when that breaking point hits, and he's like, oh, I gotta cut them off for a little bit, let them know, like, look, I'm on a hiatus right now. I gotta go do my thing. Gotta go do my thing. Gotta go do my thing, man. Let them know.
I say it's hard. I'm still trying to find balance, to be honest. Me coming straight into coaching from playing, like as a player, professional, I had so much freedom to focus on me, do whatever I wanted, work out, travel when I want. I can train in another state. You feel me? I can pay for it. I know people,
right?
So I ain't gotta I can move how I want. But when you come in and you dedicate your time to other people, you know what I mean? You investing in your time and trying to help them be successful. You be like, all my friends out of town this weekend, but I had to drive to PA for AAU tournament, or Wednesday nights my friends out at happy hour at Golden Dragon, and I'm in the gym 4:30 to 6 at basketball practice. You feel me? 4:30 to 8 at basketball practice. So it's like, what type of lifestyle do I want to live? Do I want to live the lifestyle of focusing on me, living my life, having my fun, freedom, or just still finding my fun and freedom and having fun with what I'm doing? Like I had fun with what I'm doing, like traveling with my players, staying in hotels and stuff like that. Like that's fun.
That's a great way to look at it.
That's fun for me because I can still slide off when I'm doing me. You feel me? I can still bring my girl with me, bring a lady with me. We stand in the tellies, take her out. You feel me? Stuff like that. So it's like it's not the same. I can be out popping bottles in the club, standing on tables, and standing on chairs. Stuff I was doing when I was a professional athlete. Now I got a different demeanor, so my fun, like my direction of fun, got to be different. And I got to find other stuff that's fun. It can't be the same type of stuff that everybody else is doing or that I once thought was fun because you got kids watching you. Like I had fun, but if I posted literally everything I was doing as fun, like my kids would probably take me as a joke. Right. So it's like you got like I want to post stuff with my friends so I don't seem stiff or don't seem like I'm not in tune with what's going on with my friends and stuff. But it's like, yo, at the same time I gotta focus on this tournament. Like, there's been times like over like 8 months, 6 months span, you feel me? I live by myself. My kids don't live with me. I don't have a girlfriend, so I'm straight coaching basketball. Go home by myself. Ain't no fun. Ain't no girl. You feel me? Like just straight me doing whatever I want to do in the house.
That's why the Twitter be booming.
Oh, that's why my Twitter be banging, because I'm not in a relationship. Like if I had a girl, I would never tweet as much as I did. Like I would move in a certain way. Like so, it's like I'd be bored half the time. Like I wake up in the morning, I'll come home cooking for myself, cleaning for myself, doing this, paying all my bills. Then I'm paying for other kids to do stuff. So it's like, yeah, I can make time for a female, but is it gonna be worth the time that I'm putting in with these kids? Like, is it gonna be more beneficial? Like, yeah, I want to date. That's cool, but like if you don't got the same mindset I got, if you don't even like basketball,
right?
How I'm gonna date you and I'm in the gym all weekend? It's either you gonna be mad, you gonna be mad, or You want to do something, you going to be out somewhere else with somebody else.
She got to understand
So,
that. That's part
yeah,
of it.
it's either you going to be there with me or you going to understand. Like, you can have your fun. I'm going to do what I got to do. We can meet back up at the spot at home or whatever the case may be. So it's just hard to find that balance because when you so focused on your goals and what you're trying to do and trying to help other people, yo, like, to be honest, like, women can be selfish, like, when it comes to dating. Like, real talk, it's us fellas here, so we can talk about this. Like, nah, but like, women can be selfish in that aspect. Like, they forget that men have life outside of women. Because, like, if you're not attending to a woman 24/7, they might think it's other women involved. When it's literally, you might be tired. I just had 3 games this weekend. I'm tired, sure. I ain't answering the phone because I was asleep, not because I'm with another girl. But you gonna make that a problem while you ain't answer, rather than saying, get some rest, I know you had a long weekend.
Right.
So it's like, that be the disconnect for me, like, once that comes, it's not for me. Like,
Still like a mature woman.
yeah, it's like, just like focus on what I need to focus on because same like how we had a lot of friends who played in college, got caught up with girls, left college, ain't finished school, or guys that could play in high school, got a girlfriend, was in love and didn't go. Right. You feel me? So it's like, females, a certain female can hold you back. There's more bad ones out here than good ones, to be honest. Like, if you trying to do something with yourself, he got, yo, that's what that doing. He got it going. So I didn't have a good one yet.
That's why he's married.
So for me, it's totally flipped. I needed basketball, sports, and coaching to balance my everyday life. I'm an accountant by day, with government clients. Sometimes at the end of the month, I do 60, 80 hours. Like, I crunch numbers to know tomorrow. But for me, I needed that. I call the gym my sanctuary. Like, I needed that to get away from, you close the doors, numbers don't matter. Like, not everything else outside, the phone don't matter, none of that matters. And when you step out, your phone crazy, and you deal with that in the car, let your car warm up before you go home and dip. But like, I needed that to balance my everyday life. But to piggyback off of what he was saying about as woman, my fiance, love her to death, but she has helped me as far as that outside everyday life outside of basketball.
Glad you said something
because
good, boy. We was
to be very clear, even when I was younger, some people, athletes to this day, don't realize your woman will go harder than you than your man will. You got friends come and go. You had 10 good friends. You come out of high school. You know, all y'all go y'all separate ways. You got 3 or 4 you cool with. You talk to. By the time you get out of college, you may found one new one in college, 1 or 2 of your mans from high school, and then y'all still talk. Everybody go. It's not because you beefing, but it's just how life is. But it's several times like I chose not to go out with my boys, even with Aaron. Like, won't go out, hang with my girl. Like, it's not because I don't.
That's
it's
cool though. That's better.
My girls has held me down when, like I was in college, broken down outside the gym, can't get home after practice. Like, so she held me down. So like, that helps me. Like, when I leave out my sanctuary, like I know, like it's still I don't gotta go home or go back to crunching numbers. That I go home to more peace, which helps with 8 to 5, 9 to 5, 40, 60-hour weeks.
Getting that peace.
That's what it really is, because basketball is frustrating, but from going from players to coaches, like, it sounds so crazy, but it's good frustration. Like, we really frustrated, but that don't care compared to the frustration we have outside on a regular day with this, your homeboy who stabbed you in the back, or, you know what I'm saying, like, did you wrong, like, that's good frustration. We may be crazy on the court, but we go back in the locker room, you know what I'm saying, cuss them out, do what we gotta do. But we really love those kids. Like those kids keep you going, because I'm sure to speak for everybody. All it takes is one for us. Like, if it takes us 1, then we want 2. Then we have that one good year where it's 3 or 4. Then it's like, you go back to your year with 1. But all it takes is 1 to go down the path where you get them help to go down, start to get on that path that we went down, and then it's up to them to, go overseas, go to these countries, hit the G League. It's up to them. But if you help them start on that path, because I'm sure there's not a lot of many of us in high school. We had that one figure that helped us start on that path. We had to go down this road, but we had to maneuver back to get back where we needed to go the hard way. We just don't want them to go down the same route, same hard things we had to go through. But it's like these kids, they want to do that.
Yeah, they don't listen.
Like, they really want to do that. And it's like, dude, you have no idea. And I tell them all the time, as soon as you're 18, you step off that curb, make one wrong way, the man's could be posted on Murder Inc. Baltimore for something, and he's done.
Right.
Like, you ain't calling your parents to check in before you get jammed. Like, it don't work. You're done. And kids don't understand that, and unfortunately, some got found the hard way.
Yeah, they always learn the hard way. I had one come back recently. He was telling me, "Dang, Coach Bug, I wish I'd have listened to you when I was playing, because I would have got better offers than what the offers he got." He was trying. You know, some kids like that D1 level, they want to get there. But I'm like, dog, you ain't got to go D1 sometimes. It's D2. I tried to convince him going D2. I'll go D2 or D3. I'm like, dog. He so high hopes on that. He had a D2 school looking at him, give him full ride and everything.
Give it up.
Yeah, he gave that away.
I want to know how you find yours. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm
the line to figure it out.
Like, you the one that's married, and you the one that coaches at the highest level. Like, y'all on the road the most. So I would assume that coaches' wives and girlfriends that like in college are the most angriest.
And
like,
he got
upset.
And he got kids.
Yeah. So it's like that's tough.
Also, if once you start, like, you get a couple years in, you change city or whatever, the expectations change because, you know, family gets bigger. They want to go further in the career. So I feel like it's even more built up pressure. But you're trying to get to that point where you like
making sure everything's straight.
Exactly.
Because you still working like you assistant coach. I know you the head. You trying to get to the head coach, so you still gotta pay your dues to pay something. That much you staying late, working late.
Yeah, for sure. Man, first of all, I want to start off by saying shout out to my wife. You know what I mean? She hold me
Miss
down.
Atkins, Mrs. Atkins.
She hold me down. And you know, you asked about the peace. You know, my whole day is. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's hectic. I love what I do. You know, but I really plan out every single day, from my calls. What the workout's going to be, to everything. It's all planned out. So when I'm coming home, making my calls to to people, when I step in that door, you know, at first I just planned out the first 40 minutes. I put my phone down. Obviously, I get to see my son. He gives me a hug. Every time I step in the door, no matter what's happening, when he says "Daddy," man, that's the best part of my day. You know what I mean? So. Then I get to spend some time with my wife, or whatever, be cooking food, whatever that is, getting my son ready for bed. That's my peace time, you know what I mean? And then should I plan out if I'm still got more calls that night, we're talking to recruits. But then I put the phone down again, from like at least an hour before the bedtime. You can tell. I'm probably thinking about my son putting my bedtime. But yeah, like before I go to sleep, really taking that time and just spending that with my wife. Put my phone down, put it on the charger, put it away, and if we watching a show, whatever it is, like just me and her time, and like that's my peace. You know what I mean? So I plan out my peace. You know what I mean? I have to do that.
So you never had an issue or a conflict when it came to an issue before? Because I think your wife was a hoop before, right? She was an athlete. So she kind of knows the aspects of how your everyday life is. So
she ran track in college. I mean, we went to school together. So she kind of understands what that grind is. But I think the main thing is communication. You know what I mean? Just letting her know where I'm at, if I'm staying later, because that happens a lot. Just keeping that lines of communication open. That's really it.
Communication is key.
It's the main thing.
Communication is key.
But communication is also key if the person you're dealing with trusts you, though. Right.
No.
Because you could be communicating everything you're doing, but if that person don't trust you, you SOL. Like, yo, I'm at the gym. We got practice till 9 o'clock. Boy, you not at no gym. You was not at no gym. You was at select. No, we just bumping music while we working out. Like, they good. So it's like,
they be tripping.
You literally need like take picture proof evidence, but like y'all say, like having that good person that balance you out and understand what you're doing is the best thing. Like, it would be probably hard for y'all to probably do what y'all do if you was dealing with somebody that didn't understand what you did.
You was impossible.
Yeah, it would be impossible, like, because I like this person, I care about this person, but this person don't really give a fuck about what I'm doing. Like, and then that's how I see it. Like, yo, yeah, you might like me, you might think I'm handsome, and you might want to talk to me and all that, but like, do you really care about what I'm doing? Do you care about what I'm doing for these kids? Like, do you respect my time? Or you just want me to come see you every day or link up with you?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I'm out the house by 8 o'clock. Some nights I don't get back until 8:30, 9 o'clock. You know what I mean? So if you don't have that type of communication, trust, it's just not gonna work. You know what I mean? So that has to be the number one thing. She has to understand what that grind is. You know, I would say, you know, it's probably tougher to find a wife once you get in the business. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm trying to find.
Because it's not normal. Like, you know what I mean? It's not. You leave at 8, come back at 8:30. Like, that's not a normal day. So like, you know, I'm. You know,
even in high school.
You know, I could be empathetic to even her situation. Like, that's not normal. You know what I mean? So they just gotta really understand it.
And it take a strong woman to deal with that. Because like, even at the high school at Digital, like when I was a teacher, I went to be to school 9 o'clock, school over 2:50, basketball practice 5:30 to 7:30. After practice, we would have AAU practice coming in from 7:30 to 9, or I would do my personal training stuff from 8 to 9. So I'm leaving out the house 8:30 every morning, getting home 9:30, might be 10 o'clock if I gotta take some players home. So if I did have a girl at home, I can't really give you that attention you want for this 3-4 month span. Like, I need to find something else to make it right. Or you need to like understand me and know that when it's all over, like I got you. You feel me? Like, it's just a grind right now.
So
I'm trying to get to where you need to be.
So I'm gonna change gears real quick. I'm gonna make some rapid hitters real quick. I want to ask all the coaches in here. Let me ask you too. Question 1 is what inspires you? Question 2 is, what is your end goal as far as coaching, whether it's NBA, college? So I'm gonna start with you, Eric, and then we're gonna go down there before we wrap it up.
What inspires me, I'm driven to be the best in this profession. You know, I'm inspired by all the great black coaches who come before me, and that really inspires me, just seeing what they do, how they did it, and how they inspire young men. So. You know, I want to be, first of all, right now, I want to be the best assistant coach I can possibly be, only the best assistant coach in the country. So that's the main thing that inspires me right now. And I do forget the second question.
What is your end goal? Is it NBA head coach or?
Yeah, what's interesting is I think I'm not gonna give you a great answer right now because
to be determined.
Because I'm loving the process I'm in, and I see an end goal, and yeah, maybe I do want to be a head coach, but I'm so like locked in with this process of being an assistant, being the best I can be. You know, I'm just locked in on that. Where that takes me, it takes me.
Definitely. Your turn.
I think what inspires me is like Coach Herman and like Shaka Smart. But Shaka Smart inspired me because like him, like me being a young coach, like me coming to high school when I was 25, like. And seeing how Shaka Smart was so like enthusiastic and the energy that he was giving and how detailed he was and how smart he was at a young age, like that kind of motivated me because I always looked at myself like I was never that top guy. I was never that top guy, but I was always in the room with the top guys. And now I feel like it's time for me to flourish, you know what I mean? Like I flourish. Like we grew up together playing basketball together our whole life, like, and I was just the guy that was just on the team. Like, nobody really knew what I could do or what I was going to turn into. So like my motivation just comes from them young coaches, like just grinding and making it happen at the next level. Like. And my end game, like I really want to be a JUCO head coach. Like, and I say JUCO head coach because you giving people an opportunity from any aspect, yo. You giving people an opportunity that's coming from high school. They ain't had degrees, so they come to JUCO and get right. You got guys that messed up at D1, started at the top, fell off, try and get back right. I want to be that one that just literally balance you out, sure to give you that opportunity, but in a structural way. You know what I mean?
And that's the same. That's my end goal too as well. Like even though I'm still coaching high school, like JUCO, I feel like it's like you can teach them and like it's like you being like a.
I think that's the best job in America. Like, JUCO head coach, y'all.
You a black man, you educating them kids, educating them black African American men, like how to be successful in life. Though. Like you gotta break everything down and like getting those degrees. I mean, you ain't gotta go to college per se to get it like to be successful, but like that helps when you play basketball. That's like one of the part of the end goals. What you gonna do after the ball stop dribbling?
Yep. Because this right now can be your end game. JUCO can be your end game. So it's like, this is your last resort. This is nobody's first resort. So if there's nobody's first resort, I'm literally trying to do whatever I can to help y'all do something else better. Or if this your last resort, then that means the show that is literally on you.
And that's my inspiration as well. That's part of that.
Yeah, I like the JUCO thing because you literally can save some of these kids from going back out to the street that they were. But what inspires me is really the kids. Like if I could change one kid or help one kid, I'm good in my book. But I don't have a desire to be an assistant, a college coach, because for me, I'm loving my government accounting money. I don't like going back down and all that. But I would love to be part of like a college program to like, even if it's like a video coordinator, like I don't need all the extra money, but like just to be a part of that, to see it grow. Just be the process, because I like to see the kids coming through and leave to come back to give back and all that. Like to me, that's more, because the more people who do that, the more kids that be reached.
Right, that's great. All right, Jay, what inspires you right
My father. So my father was my favorite coach. No lie, like the rest of them kind of went. But my father was my favorite coach. I want to give each kid pretty much what my father gave me. And next, I really don't have any next steps. I kind of want to be like the janitor in those movies who you end up finding out can actually play basketball. I would love to do that.
That's why you end up making the gym time.
Exactly. But I'm just coaching, helping out for now. So.
Well, I just want to thank y'all for coming.
Very blessing.
Appreciate it.
I really appreciate y'all time, the energy. I know it took a lot for y'all to do it. Real quick, if y'all want to drop your IGs, or we can drop it for you. But I just want to say this has been a great session. I'd love to have y'all come back.
I'm with it.
So, talk some Baltimore Twitter, y'all. Talk relationships, y'all, Zodiac stuff. You gotta get me in on them ones.
Relationship goals.
I want to end it with this. I want everybody to be your true, authentic self. But remember, we all kings and queens, and we all millionaires.
I just wanna spend my life with you all day. You say that you love me, is it true? You say I'm the only one that's all for you. Okay, make me feel away, make me feel away. Shorty so damn dangerous, fuck me like I'm famous, yeah. I've been so impatient, so glad that you made it here. Took my dick and faced it, shorty going crazy, yeah. Thought that you was playing.